It's time for the 2026 AI Video Dance Battle. We have MiniMax H3, Wan Animate 2, and SCAIL 2 fighting it out. All of these models let you take a reference image, a control video, and then your output is your character moving to the movement in your control video. These are not your 2025 models, so we're going to jump right into multiple characters. These are all upscaled with Seed VR2, and I did multiple runs with each model to try to get the best results possible. They all have a bit of smearing in the faces, but I think that SCAIL 2 has a slight edge here. Note that I tried to optimize the prompt for the model. I hate it when people do model comparisons and they say they just use the same prompt, rather than using prompts meant for the model. For instance, SCAIL 2 just needs a very simple prompt. It's relying on your control video and your reference image. MiniMax H3, on the other hand, likes a bit of a novel. Every subject needs to be defined, and there is this very specific format. I used an AI agent skill and an AI agent to write this. I will link in the video description to the skill I used. Then Wan Animate 2 has this format where it wants a description of the character and the background, and then a very simple motion prompt. The prompt examples from the model creators were all in Chinese, so I used Chinese to try to get the best result. Here is the English translation. And we see that the motion prompt is just reference videos for character movements. You don't actually describe the movements. They come from the control video. I wasn't trying to optimize for speed, but this will give you the relative time for the different models. SCAIL 2, I was using the Fusion X LoRa for 10 steps, and it took me about 19 minutes. MiniMax H3, I was just using 20 steps with the first block cache that's implemented in WanGP, and it took 28 minutes. Wan Animate 2, I used the distilled model for 10 steps for 39 minutes. All of these were using WanGP with Sage 2 on an A40, running on RunPod with 48 GB of VRAM and 50 GB of RAM. And note that these times do not include the upscaling time. And here is my favorite challenge. I gave each of the models this picture of a robot in the position of Christopher Walken in the iconic Fatboy Slim music video, and then I also gave it a reference image of the backside of the robot with a fluffy purple tail, to see which model would have him dance and show his tail when he turns around. And here's the SCAIL 2 version. The dance tracking is really good. The background looks as it should from the reference image, and we do have a purple tail, but alas, it is not the correct purple tail. The purple tail must be coming from the text prompt rather than the reference image. With Wan Animate 2, the dance tracking is also good. It made the jacket in the background a weird live animal, and there is sadly no tail at all. With MiniMax H3, the robot follows the dance pretty well, which is good because MiniMax H3 can sometimes be a bit interpretive with the movements, but most importantly, we have our fluffy purple tail. I was so excited by this result that I gave MiniMax H3 just a character sheet and the control video, and it was able to maintain the consistency of the bear from all sides. He's doing his own interpretation of the dance, but consistency A+. Now we have the fast spin, which is challenging for the models to maintain the hair and facial definition, even though there's such fast movement. SCAIL 2 does the best job maintaining the woman's hair. Wan Animate 2 is close, but not quite as good. MiniMax is not great, and this is actually the best I could get from it for this dance. To even get these results, I was inspired by this project, which dynamically extends your control video where there's fast motion so that the model has more time at inference to figure out what is going on over time. So I basically made a dumb version of this. I took the control video and I 4x'd the number of frames using Rife. And then I slowed down the video to 1/4 its speed, now that it had the extra frames. And so then we see here that we have the slower version there on the right that has the extra frames created by Rife. And then I fed the slower version to MiniMax H3 so it would have more time to basically figure out the movement. And then, since my output video is 4 times as long, I 4x the playback to get the speed. It's not perfect, but it's worth trying if you have some blur in a generation you want to get rid of. This is the same spinning control video, but we see here with an animated character, the models do better. The hair pieces are not as fine, so they don't blur. Interestingly, with Wan Animate 2, it refused to animate flames in the background. I even prompted for it, and it still just kept it completely static. But it did do a good job with the dance and face clarity, and meanwhile, MiniMax didn't follow the dance that well, so this is probably between SCAIL and Wan Animate. Here I really confused the models with a control video where two women changed places with one another while they were dancing. And I was able to get Scale 2 to do this, but not reliably. Only a few seeds would actually make it happen. MiniMax can do the switch, but it misses some of the details of the dance, and Wan Animate 2 was just really confused. Every now and then it would just have a third dancer appear.
If you thought this was helpful, just take your paw and press subscribe. It helps me get treats.